Hey, Facebook Live world. If you're on here and you're joining me for the 1 o'clock session that we are doing, 1 o'clock today, but maybe not when you're watching this later, we are talking about making work from home work for you. So I'm in here a little bit early because I just wanted to give people a pre-warning to get your cup of tea, get your lunch, get your notepad, your pen, and come and join me. I'm filming this basically because so many people have moved from working in their office environment to working from home, which when I'm going to reflect back, when I worked full-time in corporate, I craved the ability to work from home. Like I thought, oh my God, like this is just one of those luxuries that some people get. Hey Amy, thanks for joining. Working from home seemed to be one of those luxuries that only certain people got. And, sorry, I had a message pop up. Yeah, don't they know? And once I was able to start working from home, and I'm also conscious my co-worker, Mr. Lawrence, the dog over here, well, I'm hoping he's going to work with us. Anyway, so, once I was fully working from home, it actually wasn't as much fun as I thought it would be. And it really became quite a challenge for me because I, as a person, am a people person. So I need to be around people. I need to be engaging people. I like to be engaging with people. I like to have that level of contact and conversation about work, but also about life. And so working from home on my own was part of the start of a downward spiral for me. Now that was some time ago, and I mean sometimes we're talking 6 years ago. But there's still a lot of things that I need to remember and bring into play because I am back working at home full time. So generally I have a bit of a split where I work at home sometimes and work in an office and then, work in a gym with my PT clients and all sorts of things. So I just wanted to touch base and share with you guys some of the things that have worked for me and that I'm still working on, but they might give you a bit of an idea that you can put into play so that you can have a better experience of working from home. Now, I certainly think since I left corporate in 2014, since then times have changed and I think we have a much more fluid environment in terms of a lot of people work from home maybe 1 day a week, maybe 2 days a week. So there is a much better structure in terms of supporting them, but I wanted to give you some insight of what you can do to take care of you. So it is now 1 o'clock. Now, if I'm doing this a bit, I have a family of flies who seem to have decided to move into my home, which is really not easy when I'm working in the kitchen. So I hope the little black spot doesn't go over the camera and you don't see me, but we'll work with it. But just to start, before we kick off and while people are joining, I would really love to share, if you'd share below, what are some of the challenges that you're finding when you're working from home now? So whether you're watching this right now or you're watching the replay after, so do #replay, but share with me some of those challenges that you're noticing, because after this I've got a special gift for you. Good timing, Beck. So I was just saying, just share below what are some of the challenges you're noticing from working from home, because after this I've got a little gift to share with you, and I want to make sure that I capture your challenges and ways that we can help support you and solve those challenges for you. So just pop below any challenge that you're noticing at the moment working from home. And while you're doing that, just wanted to let you know that I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. So there will be more information, and you can Google the crap out of this topic. But these are 3 key parts that I think are important. And my key responsibility, or the thing that I'm looking to address today, is how to take care of you as a human. So that's my main priority. There will be other online tools and resources and information you can get that's looking from a business perspective in terms of, what they want to get from you, but I'm here really to support you as an individual. So hence the theme of today. But yeah, as I mentioned, pop down below any challenges that you're noticing. So the first area that I want to talk about, before we even talk about getting set up, is the self-care. So how do you take care of yourself during this time? Especially when we're recording this, we're in the coronavirus isolation. So how do we help support you in that time of change? So one of the things that's really important to counterbalance uncertainty, which is what we're facing collectively at the moment, is an uncertain environment, is that we want to create some structure that gives you some certainty. So just as you did when you got up and you would go to work, maybe you went in public transport or you drove to work, we want to give you some of that structure so that things feel a little bit normal in this crazy time. So when we're looking at things like that, we're still talking about, so whilst working from home might feel like a little bit of fun, a little bit of holiday, it's not. You're still going to get work done, right? So what we want to do is ensure that we're creating a regular sleep pattern. So we're going to bed at the same time as we would if we were going to work. If not, we want to create a better sleep pattern than we did before. Because now's your time to get some new habits in place to support you. So we want to have a regular sleep time and a regular wake time. So even though we're not traveling to work, if you can keep that same waking time or better that you had before, then the time that you've gained from not having to travel and potentially because you can't go to the gym at the moment, you can invest in ways that serve you. So you might still go for a walk around the block. You might decide to do some extra learning. You might read a book or something with that extra time. But the really important part that I'm trying to get out of this is to have that sleep pattern so that you're having restful, good sleep so that you're still able, can you see that fly? Still able to be productive. And in having that feeds into having the same regular morning routines that you had. So make sure that you get up, have a shower, have your breakfast, brush your hair. You may not choose to put on makeup, but you might be like me and feel a little bit more connected to what you're doing. So I've got a little bit of foundation on and a bit of mascara, and a bit of lip gloss. It just makes me feel like I'm in the right zone. I have tried working in tracksuit pants and hoodies, and I just can't get with it. It just has a very different feel for me. But try it out. Experiment where we're wearing different things, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. Use regular alarms for meal times and break times, because it's really easy to sit down at your computer and work away, and suddenly it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You haven't had a drink of water. You haven't eaten your meals like you might normally do. You haven't gone for a walk to the shop to get your morning coffee, all of those sorts of things. And now you've been stuck in this chair, so your body is stiff for all of that time. You haven't hydrated, you haven't eaten and got the nutrients for good brain power. And you've hit 3 o'clock-itis even harder than you've ever hit before. So set your alarm on your phone. Remind yourself every hour to have a drink of water. Set your 10:30 morning tea time and your 1 o'clock lunch time and your 3 o'clock afternoon tea time, whatever it is. Get those regular habits in place if you haven't already had them in place. Now's the time to get some of those things in order to take care of yourself, because this is a gorgeous blessing from the world where you can put yourself first and start to take care of the things that you maybe have been putting aside. And have a look at investing, shifting things around a little bit. So maybe if you've been working at home, about 3-4 o'clock, maybe you can put on dinner, whether it's for yourself or extended family or workmates that live with you, whatever it is. Pop on dinner so you've got a good, healthy, yummy, delicious dinner. Come 6, 7, 8 o'clock whenever you have dinner. So you're not running around frantically trying to work out what to eat. So you utilize that time differently. We're going to talk a little bit about work-life balance and how to manage that, because when you're working at home, it's hard to differentiate what's work and what's life. And if you're like me, so I've moved out into the kitchen living area at the moment because being stuck in the office/spare bedroom is driving me insane. So I come out here for a little bit more light. I can look at the plants. I can look outside. I've got the TV on for a little bit of background noise, and I can choose the radio stations on that too. Trying to manage that work-life balance is a little harder because it's all molding into one. So manage your expectations around the hours that you worked and communicate those with your workplace. So you might be trying around a little bit with, hey, you know what, I'm going to start work at 8 o'clock and kind of finish around 4. Or look, I'm going to start about 9:30 because I'm going to do a little bit more quiet time for me in the morning, take the dog for a walk, do some meditation, whatever that is. And so you might kind of work through till 6 o'clock, whatever works for you. Make sure you're scheduling in some exercise time. It's really important, even though we're working from home, it's really important to still put yourself first. So whether you exercise before you start working, whether you take a lunch break or even a longer lunch break and do a little bit of exercise at home, or whether you do some exercise after working or taking the dog for a walk or whatever that is for you, make sure that you get that exercise in. The exercise and the movement is really good for energy. It's really good to keep your body nice and fit and healthy, get the brain working, all of that sort of stuff. This is one of those ones that'll be interesting to work out. You know, you'll have to work it out individually for you. It's about separation of work and living space. Now, for some people, if you live on your own, that's an easy thing because you can just kind of put away your things and then you can get back on with living while you're not working. But if you share a house with someone like I do, with my partner, you know, working out here in the middle of the living area is great when there's no one home, but when there's two of us home, it kind of takes up half the space. So be conscious of whether you need to pack up afterwards or whether you just pack things away out the way for everyone so that you're not coming back. And I did this last night. You know, I was kind of watching TV and trying to have some, family time. And then I'd duck back over to the laptop here because I had an idea, and then I'd do something. And then I'd go back over there, and it was just this backwards and forwards. And to be honest, last night's sleep was absolute shit. And I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning when I just got to get up. I can't deal with this anymore. So try and separate that out. I just want to say hello to everyone that has joined on. We've also got, so before we had Amy and Beck, and now we've got Eleanor and Chrissy have also joined. Thank you very much. And I hope that there's some gold in this for you. Maybe some of it you've heard before, but maybe it might be a few reminders for you. And following on from that was that fly. Did you see? Yep. Following on from that is also to communicate to other people in your home about boundaries. So, if you've got multiple people in isolation at the moment and working from home, you might need to kind of, just let people know, because there are people working from home and there will be other people, like when construction sites get shut down, that will be on holidays. They won't be working from home. So you need to communicate your needs so that they understand that as well. Because for me, I can't work and function properly if somebody's watching an action movie over here. So we're just going to need to work out how we're going to do that. Is there set times? Do we need to buy headphones so people can watch TV? What are all those sorts of things? It's better to have the conversation up front than for me to be sitting here, him watching movies, doing, what works well for him, and then me just blow my gasket and say, can you just get out of my space? Because we both live here, and it's not my space and it's not his space, it's our space. Moving on, and I'm conscious of time too, so I did say I would try and keep it to 30 minutes. But having a look at how your physiology creates your psychology. Make sure I got that around the right way. So how you show up to working from home is how you'll be. So I was talking before about, wearing my leggings and my hoodie and, my Ugg boots, and I just can't get in the zone. And that's because those things tell me I'm comfy, I'm relaxed, I'm Sunday afternoon watching a movie on the couch. So my brain can't go, hey, let's be strategic and let's, find financial gains and how we can close deals and blah, 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 whatever it is I'm doing. The two just don't relate. So the message that I'm sending by what I'm wearing to my brain, the brain goes, but that's not what we're doing right now. So think about how you get dressed. And we talked about having showers and all of that in the morning, keep that same routine. So get dressed up for what you need to do. Now, it might not be that you put on your 3-piece suit, but it might be that, today I've just got a scarf on. Pearl earrings, but I've got a scarf on and I'm just feeling a little bit more like I'm in work mode now. this is a great time too to play around with different outfits and play around with different colors that might work for you that you may not test out in public yet. I myself have bought a pair of red jeans that I'm going to test out and see how they make me feel, or they might go direct to the op shop. We're not sure yet. But this is a great time to play and to have fun. And, you know, we'll talk later on about theme days, but, you know, maybe one day you wear a hat to work. Maybe one day you're wearing a dress. Whatever it is for you, whatever makes you feel like you're connected to what you need to do. Bring in your senses to de-stress. So we talk about smell, sound, sight, touch, and taste. So with the smells, bring in some calming vibes. So maybe try out some candles, some aromatherapy, things like that, just to bring you into a space of, wow, this feels kind of nice. Because you can get stress and tension in your body by working on your own and trying to work out how to do this all at once. And it's a new thing and it's a bit clunky. So try the smells. With the sounds, take a break. Maybe go outside and listen to the birds and the fresh air. And I say listen to the fresh air because it sounds different now. You can hear the wind in the trees. Spend a little bit of time out there, or maybe you have some relaxing, you know, kind of, I want to say massage music, but you know, the kind of relaxing music that you hear when you go into a day spa, or, you know, Google some chilled work music or something like that on YouTube. Get your senses going so you're really connected to what you're doing, and then you'll enjoy it more. With sight, so practicing some mindfulness by sitting with an item that inspires you. Maybe it's a photo that you have, maybe it's a salt lamp, maybe you're enjoying the colours of the plants, whatever it is, maybe you're looking at the crystals. You know, try out different things just so you can bring yourself back to being in the present moment, because when you're on your own too, if you're like me, my brain has got 5,000 things happening at once because I've just got all these great ideas, but I really need to come back to centre and just stay focused. Touch. So touch will feel different textures that help provide stress relief. So you might have a squishy ball, you know, you might feel like playing with your scarf. I have a beautiful soft cushion that I really love. So just give yourself some time and some space utilising those different things. And taste. So have different flavours that bring a sense of calm and relief. So maybe you have, you know, the cold drip, not cold drip, but the tea bags that you put in your cold water that give it some flavour, or maybe you like some lemon water. Both of those things are really good for your digestion as well. You know, have lots of good, fresh, clean tastes. As I say that though, I did just have a Tim Tam and that tasted pretty bloody good as well. But you know, just some things there to try out. One other thing that I think is really important is about creating your outstanding self-culture. I think it's easier when you're in a group and you're in your workplace to hold good standards and high standards. When you're on your own though, you need to hold them true as well. So what do you do when people aren't watching? You know, are you still being that high performer? Are you still practicing what you preach? Are you still delivering? And I am saying bring conscious awareness to this. You may not get it right every day because it is hard being self-driven, self-motivated, self-inspired. But the more that you can practice that and then go back into the workplace, that becomes your norm. That it's not that you need to consciously think about it so much anymore. So do those things that set yourself up for success. God, get that right. Let's have a quick look at your physical environment. So obviously we've talked about setting up your environment, whether that is in a room, which you can shut the door at the end of the day, or whether you need to move around a little bit. So I'm out here at the moment in the main living area. There will come a time though where I'm going to have to pack up and go back in there. But, you know, just be aware of that environment and change it if you need to. You know, we've had some really nice sunny days, so maybe you need to go and work outside and do the reading out there. When we're talking about getting set up, have a think about the technology that you need. So get yourself organized. Do you need to buy an extra extension cord? Do you need to dust off that printer that you've got and make sure that it's all working and connected into your new laptop that you bought? What do you need? And if there's things that your workplace need to provide, make sure you ask them for that. Set up a comfortable workspace. So make sure that you've got your lighting. You might have heating or might need heating. So I went and bought a little electric heater so that I don't have to put on the heating for the whole house. I just needed a little bit of, take the chill off in my room. Try and use a proper chair. Right now I'm using our kitchen bench chairs because we don't have a dining table, because I'm actually working on a picnic table. But if you can, and in my room I have a proper ergonomic desk chair. It's really important. While we think that working at home is not that bad, notice your body after a couple of days of working in a really shit chair compared to what you might have been using at work, and your body will be screaming and your body will tell you that this is not working for me. So you might have back pain, you might have headaches, you might have shoulder issues, all those sorts of things. So be aware and ask your workplace if you need to. Maybe you need to go in and get your chair and take it home. And try and keep your area as clean and clear as possible. That way it's just keeping your mind clear as well. Don't forget to also make it a little bit personal. So as I showed you, I've got some plants on this picnic table here. I've got some crystals. I've got my drink of water. I have the TV remote so I can keep the dog entertained. I've actually went and bought a little word search book just so that I can take a minute's break every now and then and just think about something else and then come back to what I'm doing. What else do I have here? I've got all my pens to keep me excited. And yeah, my normal books and planners and things like that. So have on your table what you need. In terms of exercise, so we talked a little bit about getting some regular exercise. Utilize the equipment that you have at home at the moment, or I'd love to say go to the shops and get some, but I've been and there's nothing left, and I'm really annoyed because I had a whole set of everything just prior to all this, and I gave it away because I decided I wasn't going to be training people at home. So if you can get your hands on anything, good luck. But you can use a bench seat that you might have. You can use your kitchen chair. You can use your kitchen bench for your incline push-ups. Stay tuned if you want to see hints and tips, because I'll no doubt be doing that across the time. But at the end of the day, your body is fully equipped to build a nice, strong body. Utilize it now while you can. Build the foundations now. Do your basics, your squats, your lunges. You can do squat jumps. You can do skipping. You can do push-ups. You can do planks, all those sorts of things. Handstands, give that a crack. All those sorts of things that we used to do as kids, give that a crack now. Be careful, no injury, please. So don't sweat if you don't have equipment. Just make it a little bit of fun time rather than exercise time. If you're not used to it, and maybe some incidental stuff. So maybe go for a little walk around the block. If you need to go to the shops to do shopping, maybe just park a little bit further away. Talk to your trainer or your coach if you need an at-home program, those sorts of things. Work with them. They know your body best. No, they don't. They know your body almost as well as you know it. If not, they know it better, but we'll talk about that another day. And just focus on controlling what you can control. Remember, in the uncertain times, you need to bring certainty. Other key things, as we talked about, hydrate well, maintain regular meal times, try and avoid the snacks. I know it's really easy, and this happened to me last week, being home full time. I would literally do one piece of work and then I'd go to the pantry, like some magical creature came and filled it up with something that I didn't know was in there. Then I'd come back to my desk disappointed. Then I'd do some more work. Then I'd go back to the fridge. And again, hoping this magical creature would come and fill up my fridge with stuff I never realized. It's not going to happen. So try and stop the temptations by having regular meal breaks. Try not buy the things that are not good for you right now, because we're not moving as much. We're not walking to the train station. We're not walking to work. We're not walking at lunchtime to go and get our food, whatever it is. We're not walking. We're not moving as much. So try and cut back on some of those processed things increased, fruits and veg. Have some hummus dip with veg, or maybe even some rice crackers, something like that. Use the things that are going to help you right now rather than hinder you, because when we come out of this, if you've been snacking excessively, you're probably going to have another 5 or 10 kilos on you, and that's not what we want. So just balance that nutrition. So then let's have a look here at some productivity tips. How are we going for time? We've got 8 minutes, then I'm still on time. So before we go to productivity tips, I'm just going to check back here, because I asked, as we started, I asked what are some of the challenges you're facing by working from home. So Rebecca wrote here, see if I can open up, she's finding her motivation is the biggest challenge. I have some things I want to do around the house that I now have time to do and just can't bring myself to get started. Oh, so does that mean you're not working from home, you're just at home? I guess the thing is, break down all those things that you want to do. And this is the same kind of concept when you are working from home or you're starting a business or anything. There are a million things that you want to tackle. So just plop them down so that the brain space isn't being taken up with, oh my God, all these things. And then have a look with a level of priority. So what would be the easiest thing to get done first that would get you excited and motivated about ticking things off the list? Or what is the thing that is essential that needs to be done right now? Hopefully that might help. Checking out here. Becca's actually also doing some online shopping to work out her new style. So we were talking about trying out different colors, different fabrics, all those sorts of things. Yeah, cool, Beck. So Becky's working from home, but she just has a lot less duties. Yeah, absolutely. Hello also to Renee and Megan who joined us. Thank you. So let's have a quick look at productivity. So in terms of time management, and I apologize that I keep looking over here. It's just my notes on my laptop, but I'm completely with you. And this goes really into what Beck has just said. So for time management, set your daily work lists and identify a top 3. If you get that top 3 things done, you've nailed it. And I say that because when we look at a list, the list becomes overwhelming because there's so much on there. And if you're like me, my list goes over a couple of pages. So identify the top 3 things you're going to focus on for that day and then just nail that. And literally if you get 3 things done a day over 5 days, that's 15 things done. Now some will be, they'll be really quick and easy, and some will take a little bit longer, and that's okay. Just map them out. And then give yourself a pat on the back, because remembering working from home is not easy. It really isn't easy. And I say this because, as I said at the start, it appears from the outside as one of those lovely luxuries, but being self-motivated and structured and getting up and out of your pajamas every day and making sure that you eat your right food to keep you energized and not getting distracted with 57 loads of washing, like literally you've invited the neighbors washing in because you want to find anything else to do other than do the work you need to do. Hey Nat, thanks for joining. So yeah, prioritize those top 3 things for the day and then just focus on those. Block out areas of time so that you can focus on that project or that one, top one thing. Because if you block time, and I say in blocking time also means you can communicate that to your co-livers, what do you say? The people you live with. and you can also communicate that to your co-workers, because a lot of people are still talking online and we're doing Zoom calls and we've got Teams set up and all these sorts of things. But if you're telling them, look, between 1 and 3 today, I'm focusing on this project and I have to have no interruptions, please, then we can be respectful of each other's time. And it means that you're going to just knuckle down and get focused. Put your candle on, put your music on, have your drink of water, knuckle down, get it done, and then you're done. Celebrate for the day. You could also look at utilizing different focus techniques. So there is the Pomodoro technique, which is, if I remember correctly, focusing for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. So it's a little bit like high intensity interval training, but for work. So you knuckle down your focus. There's no interruptions, 25 minutes. You just go, and then you take the break. Does work really well. I have used it in the past, probably should use it again. avoid reactive behavior to incoming communications. So turn your notifications on your email off. Turn your Facebook off. Just because an email or a phone call comes in doesn't mean that you have to answer it right then. If you are staying focused and you've communicated to your team, then stay focused. It's really easy for us to get reactive and respond because we're just looking for a distraction. So turn those notifications off. Set meeting times with your management, your colleagues, whoever, to minimize that reactive behavior. So you can meet, you can talk about the topic, and then that's it, get on with it. And if you need to prioritize work, I would certainly recommend checking out a time management matrix, which is written by Stephen Covey. He wrote Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, an amazing book. And I would really wish that people would get this given to them in high school. But check out the time management matrix there. All right, I'm going to power through. So managing distractions. Create clarity of time between home and work duties. So as we talked about, separate things out. Now I am in work time. After 5, I'm on home duty time, whatever you need then. Close down, turn off your internet browser, email, app notifications. On your phone, turn your phone off if you can. Knuckle down, get focused, get the work done, then have your social calls after that. Sign out of your social media networks. Consider turning off the app notifications, which we just talked about. Physically remove the distractions. So put your phone over there. Put your phone in the bedroom. Put your phone away, because it's really easy to quickly look down and go, oh, I'll just quickly check Facebook because I'm checking on the app. I'm not checking on my computer. So I'll just check my app. And then I'll just check this. And then, I might just check my bank balance. And then you get sidetracked, and literally 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour later, oh shit, I was meant to be doing that thing, wasn't I? So put your distractions away. And keep your background noises to a minimum where you can. So don't have your TV on if you don't have to. For me, I got the TV on today. I'm not actually looking at it, but it's actually meant that the dog has been so much calmer today. So the other few days he's been getting up and he'll stand here barking at me. He'll be carrying on about whatever else is happening in the rest of the world. Today, he's sleeping like a baby. So just going to leave that TV on over there. And if you can, if you've got other people around the house, kids, whatever that is, just try and, you can't block them out, but try and remove yourself from that noise distraction. And then we've got one more bit, setting priorities of work versus home. So do what works best for you at the end of the day. You're going to need to decide what works best for you. You're going to need to be really present and conscious as to what is happening in your world, what you're feeling, the emotions, and every emotion is valid, okay? If you're feeling like this is really tough, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're shit. It doesn't mean that, you've been putting on a front all this time and then working from home, now you've been found out. Working from home is very, very different, all right? Emotions will come up. Just acknowledge them, observe them, let them be. If you need to cry, cry, please. Because, not only have we moved to a different working style, but we also have all this other stuff happening in our world in a time of pressure and crisis and all of that. And we're still expected to perform at the same level. So, just be aware of that. Is it possible to split your work time? So maybe you don't do 9 to 5 while you're working at home. Maybe you do 7 till 11, and then maybe you do a 1 till 4. See what works for you and communicate that to your manager or to your team. Don't just do it and be offline and your team doesn't know where the hell you are and you didn't show up to a meeting because you're having personal time, but you didn't communicate that. In a time of working remotely from your team, communication needs to be even more than it was before. Can you alternate home and work duties without being distracted or detriment to your work? So maybe if you've got kids, maybe you need to do a bit of time sharing and work that out. And can you find opportunities for improvement and success that you wouldn't have otherwise been possible? So maybe what you're noticing by working from home is that maybe your files that your team are accessing aren't actually that easy to find. Things like that where you can just find an opportunity to improve it. So we're at 1 hour, not 1 hour, 1:32 p.m. Thank you. So given with all that information, I mean, there's a lot, and there's much more that I have, but I just wanted to touch on some key points that I think are relevant right now. If any of this was of value, please let me know. Please let me know your number one, hashtag number one, what was your number one takeaway from this session? And also, I have a special little offer. Doesn't cost you money. Might cost you some time. I'm actually going to finish off this little ebook that I have created. So if you would like a copy of it, and you can download it and you can read it in your own good time, if you want a copy of that, just need to comment below, say yes please copy. Let's go with that. Yes, please copy. I'll finish writing up my ebook, and I will send you through a personal link of how you can get that. And hopefully, you can start to utilize some of the information, put a few things in place, and make working from home work for you. I think the gift in this is that we're all practicing working from home. So what's to say that you might start your own little business at home while you're working full time, which is exactly what I did, and what a number of people I know do. And there are going to be a number of opportunities after this whole interesting world events, whereby we're going to need a lot more online people, virtual assistants, advisors, website people, all sorts of everything. So let me know if you'd like a copy of the ebook. As I mentioned, what did I say? Yes, please copy. Should really plan that out before I start videoing. And I look forward to seeing you all soon, and wish you all the best. And share me a picture of your workplace, your work at home workplace. And let's see where we're all working creatively. Creative? Yeah, leave it with that. I'll see you soon.